So anywho, here we are. We got red numbers on the screen, which means we're recording. The lights on the camera, which extra means we're recording. It's just me and Tango tonight. And Tango's not a huge fan of being on camera, but here we are, irregardless. You know, irregardless is in like a word now. It's in the dictionary.
Is it now?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not an actual.
It's not a real word because it's like an oxymoron.
But it's been so like overly used that I think it's. I want to say I read that it was in the dictionary somewhere. Maybe that's a story for the Burnham Brief.
I mean, swag and yeet are too. So
yeet is in the dictionary.
Yeah.
I had a discussion one time with Steve Cunningham, the assistant principal at the school where I used to work and you attended, about the past tense of yeet.
Yeeted?
Yeah. So we're in the office. Somebody had thrown a milk carton in the cafeteria. So it's me and the thrower and the throwee and in Cunningham's office. And he was like, the kid, he yeeted a milk carton at me, Mr. Cunningham. Why wouldn't I go over and punch him in the face? And so Cunningham's like, yeeted? And I was like, I think that's actually yoked. I think the past tense is yoked. So Steve's totally lost, and he was like, somebody's going to have to speak English to me. I was like, he threw it. He threw the milk carton. I was like, just say throw next time. Nobody knows what yeet means over the age of 30, you know, whatever.
Oh, man.
Yeeted. Yote. Yote is the past tense of yeet. We've already yeeted. We're 2 minutes and 54 seconds in, and we've yeeted this episode. Yote it. Anyway, we're not going to be here a super long time in this episode. We've just got some ideas that we want to drop on you guys. We're going to kind of go back to, if you listen to episode 170, it was called From the Studio, where we we actually gave you a sample of the news show that we had hoped to start. And we talked about some of the other projects and what those may look like. Well, what I realized was that there are some of you who watch us on YouTube, Burnham Podcast, and then there are some who only listen to Burnham Podcast on Spotify or Apple or any of the other 28 or so places you can hear us. But if you're not watching us on YouTube, you don't know that we're already doing some of these other projects and that we do all sorts of video projects. I say all sorts. We got a few things in the library. But yeah, if you're just listening to us somewhere, you're not seeing these things. So I want to encourage those of you who are just listening to check out the YouTube channel. It's just The Burnham Project. We got a bunch of stuff going on in the works, at least. But as it is right now, you can see every episode of The Burnham Project. You guys that watch us on YouTube right now are rolling your eyes because you know that. But you can see, you can see The Burnham. It's not The Burnham Podcast. It's just regular old Burnham Podcast. But you can see every episode of that. You can see Destination Hometown, which was a series we did highlighting some cool places here in our hometown of Rome, Georgia. I started a playlist on there also called the Gi League, which is going to be jiu-jitsu related content. Right now there's a belt promotion from, from Emperor City Grappling Club. That's the only video we got on there right now, but it's jiu-jitsu related content. We're going to get into some more jiu-jitsu related stuff. We've got a film project going in that department.
Yeah, we got a couple of film projects at this point.
We do. We are, I don't want to spill too many beans.
I mean, you got the Burnham Brief.
Okay, so I meant in the jiu-jitsu department.
Oh.
I'm spilling those beans for sure. But we got a couple of jiu-jitsu related things. As far as stuff that we're already doing, we do have the Burnham Project. I mean, the Burnham Brief.
We are the
Burnham Project. Yeah. So the Burnham Brief.
Yeah, that's kind of a fun little thing. We just wrapped up one now. We got to talk about something spicy that we like, which is we recently both got into watching the Isle of Man TT. And this race is absolutely insane.
It is completely unhinged. The Isle of Man, the TT stands for Tourist. I wish it was called something else because they shortened it to TT. And I said that like 6 times in that episode. TT. And you always think about TT, whatever.
But it's absolutely monstrous race around the Isle of Man. It's 38 miles, and these guys are going 160 miles an hour, and they're nuts. They're insane.
It's every little road that you see, all the shows that you watch about England and Europe and the countryside. It's on roads like that, and it passes through little villages where the houses are 2 inches off the road. and these dudes look like they're riding these motorcycles through the eye of a needle.
The whole time, and we were just watching some of the sidecar, which is like you got two guys on a motorcycle, and it's the most insane thing you've ever seen. If you've wanted to see something absolutely bonkers, go watch some Isle of Man footage.
If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're not watching, you can go onto YouTube and just look for Isle of Man, and all sorts of wild stuff will pop up. Isle of Man TT.
You will be like down a rabbit hole you didn't think you would like.
Yeah, no, it's insane. We both ride, and I thought, motorcycle race is cool or whatever, but it's not ever been like, I like to ride, but I've never been into racing. But this is a whole different thing.
So that it's counted as the Mount Everest of like motorcycle racing.
That's fair.
Kind of like one of my other favorite motorsport events that they do, which is the 24-hour Le Mans.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely insane. You got 3 guys running 24 hours around the clock on the racetrack. That's absolutely bonkers.
A team of 3 dudes.
But Isle of Man's totally different. So like motorsports is becoming a thing, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. But it's fun though. That's in the Burnham Brief, we talk about the news that we want to talk about.
Nobody dies also because the news, mainstream media is terrible about this right now, and like every story, everything is somebody dies, this terrible thing happens.
Yeah, if it bleeds, it leads, right? Yeah, like we're not doing that. We don't. If there's a story, when we're looking for news stories, we're looking for nonviolent news stories, not stories where, this dude was throwing Molotov cocktails the other night in Boulder, Colorado, and Ukraine and Russia are blowing each other up. We're not talking about that stuff.
Yeah, enough people are covering that to where I want to cover kind of the other side of life. That's like, hey, I know some things are terrible right now, but hey, look at these cool things going on.
Yeah.
Look at what scientists are doing. Look at what we did one of the guy who climbed Everest as the only non-Sherpa to make it 19 times.
19 times up Everest. So the Isle of Man deal, this most recent episode, we talked about NASA using trees as an early warning system for volcano eruptions. Just stuff that we feel like is not being covered. I keep bumping this microphone. It's not being covered by mainstream media outlets or anybody really for that matter. Everybody wants to go with the sensational, the crazy stuff and go, well, it's somebody got blown up or crashed or, whatever. Let's talk about that. Well, no, you guys talk about it. We're going to talk about fun stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we covered the mammoth. I mean, you got a Coyotes jersey above you, which is definitely the better organization. Definitely. Better logo.
Yeah. But now they're the Utah Mammoth, and I guess it got some news. I don't know. I didn't see it anywhere.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like...
It's hockey, though, and we live in Georgia.
It's hockey playoff time. Like, they are in the finals of the Stanley Cup, and, like, the Mammoth are nothing. Like, it got a little coverage that day.
That's what a great time to announce a new franchise name, though, in your championship series.
Right? Like,
and
hey,
blowing it.
Everybody's looking at us.
Yeah.
And sprinkle it in.
Yeah. But anyway, we handpick the news stories that we talk about, and we try to keep it positive. And, there's no doom and gloom or anything like that. So you get sick of hearing that stuff. Like, there's plenty of places to find it. You can find it. Like, if you want to, if that's your thing, like, whatever, go listen to it. But if you want to find out about cool things going on without that stuff, the Burnham Brief
is be perfect
what
for
that
you.
show is called. Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah. Quick, less than 10 minutes of your day.
Yeah, short episodes. You
kind of get the rundown on what's going on throughout the week. It's a solid little news break where you're like, oh, these are the things going on.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel good.
Yeah. Well, and it's a thing, I guess, that we're kind of phasing in too. It's not, right now we're good for about an episode a week. And it just kind of is what it is. We film it either before or after an episode of the podcast, which we haven't been super consistent with lately, but here we are. So we got to work that out. And that's just going to be an ongoing thing. And as it is right now, you'll just kind of get a Burnham Brief when you get one. It's not going to be every single Tuesday, and certainly not every day at the moment.
Not yet.
Not yet, but we're trying to grow this thing into an entire conglomerate, I guess, so to speak, and we need your help with that. We talk about that at the end of every episode. Go like and share and subscribe. Please like and share and all those good things. Because the more of that we get, the more of this we can do. And you guys are the reason we do it anyway. Because, we try to feel out what people want and do those things and not do what people don't want. But your support and love and all that good stuff, and I'm not even asking you for any money at this point. Just like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Yeah. But it's important. It's a big deal.
It is. We got a little bit of a push right now. We're trying to get to a subscriber number. So, I mean, we would love for you guys to subscribe. It helps us. It kind of tells us, hey, you're voting with your choice on what content you want.
Yeah.
So that kind of matters. And it tells us, hey, you're doing a good job. You're doing a bad job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for it. I know we got some really cool projects we'd love to do. It's just, we got to get there.
Yeah, we've got an entire whiteboard over here to my left of things that we're not going to show you on camera, but we're going to talk about some of them. But stuff we just want to get to, stuff we think is cool, stuff we hope that you might think is cool. We'll roll some things out and kind of spitball some ideas, and if things get 0 views, we'll stop doing them. But we've gotten pretty good feedback on the Burnham Brief. I think I've gotten more like face-to-face, word-of-mouth feedback on that than I have. Not the entire time. The podcast's been running for 7 years. So, but over the brief time we've been doing the Burnham Brief, it's gotten good responses, and good responses, that's what we want. And if good response also means, hey, that's stupid, stop doing that. That's feedback that we'll also accept. If it comes in mass, if it's just one idiot telling us to stop, then we're not going to listen to you because this is fun for us. But so there's the Burnham Brief. Another thing we're getting into, and we're recording this, and we're going to try to build a library of them because they're really short, like an actual YouTube short, 30 seconds, a minute. Some of them will be longer probably. But we're calling it the story of people. So what we're doing is finding individuals, people, ordinary folks, randos who do extraordinary things. Maybe some unsuspecting, rich guy that we didn't know this dude was rich, and when he died, he leaves somebody $100 million. We're like, holy smokes!
Right.
So that's the story that we're trying to tell.
Not to spoil it, but there's a really cool story of Clyde from Bonnie and Clyde.
Clyde Barrow, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not even, most of them, the ones we've done so far, most of the people were not like famous or notable, but Clyde Barrow did a thing that wasn't, I don't know, was it directly related to robbing banks? I guess it was sort of a byproduct. But I don't know. Since, what was it? Probably episode 101 of Burnham Podcast, I decided that I wanted the podcast to be about the story of people, and I made a commitment to get guests on and do those things. So that's why we've had all the guests we've had, because I wanted to get these people on to have them tell their story, what they're into, their business, what they believe, whatever. But the story of people allows us to do more of that without having to locate extra guests, and it's just this quick little thing that you guys can click on and see. And
or it's even like go a little bit deeper. We can go into some stories about people who may no longer exist or who you really cannot contact.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll go back Clyde Barrow. We're not getting to talk to
Clyde
that cat.
Barrow's never going to be on Burnham Pie. I don't think he could. I don't know. What did he sound? What did he talk like? Could he do an hour podcast without a cuss word? Like, that's kind of our thing.
I don't think so.
Probably not. Not the type of guy. But we can tell the story,
Exactly.
without him sitting in this chair over here next to me.
The dude lived an incredible life, which was, however you feel, is insane. But
yeah.
He
Not
did
a super
some
long
wild
life.
things.
Clyde was out there, YOLO, we don't condone anything that that Clyde did. We just felt like he had at least one interesting story.
Yeah.
So we threw it out there. But we've got some other stuff too. Some people you might or might not have ever heard of before, which has kind of been the idea. I've had doctors on before, and I don't know, science type people, big brain thinkers, and gun shooters and fist fighters and all kinds of fun stuff. But I don't know, it's sort of the same thing. These people I've had on are not outside of their community. They're not like super huge famous people, or the channel would be bigger. But as it is, we're just trying to tell people's story. This is just another avenue to do that.
Right.
It's literally called The Story of People, which was the idea behind the entire project to begin with. So there's that. We're big fans. We talked about being big fans of riding two-wheeled machines. So we're working on some other stuff in that department. We also like barbecue.
We do.
So maybe there's some correlation there between riding to barbecue. I don't know.
Yeah. That one's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
That's a kind of, we got to figure out a setup and how to do that. So there's some logistics in there, but I feel like a good barbecue review is overdue.
Barbecue review. Slow riding, slow cooking. Scooter Q. I don't know. What are we going to call it? Doesn't matter at this point. We got some working titles.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But so, those are some things we're looking at too. We're in the process right now. We'll go ahead and throw this out too while we're here, of a fundraiser, because to do these things costs money. These fancy wire, we just had to replace our mic cables 2 episodes back because they were worn out, and it costs money to have good equipment to do cool stuff, whether it's in the studio, and especially if it's outside the studio, and being able to capture in the sun and the rain and whatever it is we're up against. So we're in the process of developing some sort of fundraiser involving Tango and or myself in a challenge on said two-wheel machines. I'm a big fan of my 50cc Honda Ruckus. So if you're watching Destination Hometown, you've seen it, and you know that I just love that machine. It's not fast. It doesn't go fast, and it's a little bit ridiculous when you kind of have it on a little bit bigger road. But maybe we do a challenge, and we let you guys bet for or against whether or not we can make it the whole 100 miles in the whatever time frame, or
Whew.
Yeah, right? I mean, you're going to get 120, 130 miles out of a tank of gas, so...
We can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it with no stop. Maybe we're up against the gas. Maybe we push it to the edge of the fuel capacity, the fuel mileage, and go, well, is he going to make it back, or is he going to walk and push that thing down the side of the road?
Yeah, I love my two-wheel machine, but I just had to carry a one-wheeled one for like half a mile.
You did. That was fantastic. Tango's the worst phone answerer ever.
The phone caller.
Yeah.
It's I call you and it sounds like something's broken or I've hurt myself or there's...
2 times recently you had laid your motorcycle down and thought you had broken your arm.
I think it was one. It was only one.
Well, you called me for the motorcycle thing, and then there was the one-wheel thing just this past weekend or whatever. You were like, hey, I'm riding my one-wheel way out in the sticks. And the battery's
died.
Dead. Yeah.
Daggum electric things.
Yeah, I thought 70% was enough. It was not.
Yeah, I pushed it. Definitely died on me, and I ended up walking a good half mile with a 40-pound skateboard.
I was about to ask how much it weighed. It looks heavy. I've never carried it.
It's 38 pounds. And we'll do 25 miles an hour.
At least it wasn't 10 million degrees yet.
No.
It was overcast that day. It was, temperature-wise, it wasn't bad.
It was right out by the river, too, so it was fine.
Yeah, if you're going to carry your 40-pound one wheel for 3.5 miles, no better day to do it. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the laying the motorcycle down, that one spooked me a little, and I was like, my shoulder hurts.
Yeah.
Let me get back on and ride this out. And then I was like,
Yeah, you ended
call
up
somebody and get him to grab my truck.
Yeah, come pick me up.
But what a great truck, though. It took you right to me. It had my map
It
saved.
was the weirdest thing. It was like, this is where Tango is. Go get him. Okay. I had just bought my truck that had the hard shell on the back, and I knew the motorcycle wouldn't fit. So I had to drive all the way to your house and get your truck. Go back. I have a trailer now, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Yes. Trailer. Changes everything.
Trailer does change everything.
Forgot I just finished that for you.
You did. Tango put a new bottom in my trailer. So if you need one of those, call somebody else. He's doing stuff for me.
I'm good. That was a labor of love because I get to use it now.
Yeah, for sure. We'll load that sucker up and do all kinds of adventures. But we need your help. Please subscribe. I don't want to beg. Don't make me beg. But subscribe to the channel and tell your friends about it. What is flying around in here? Is that you?
It was me. Sorry. I apologize. I just flipped an earplug.
Okay. I thought I saw it over there, and then it was over there. And I was like, what? No, am I losing my mind? Anywho, we're going to jump off. You got anything else?
Again, please subscribe. We would love it.
Begging.
We will absolutely beg for your views because they matter. I mean...
Yeah. You guys are the reason, I think I said this earlier, and I've said it in multiple episodes. You're the reason we do this. We hope that you're entertained or inspired or educated or, any of those things, that you're getting something out of this and you're not just watching it because you like me or Tango or, one of our guests or whatever. And we hope that with every new viewer, we get a permanent viewer or listener, those of you guys that just listen. But if you are just listening, again, check out the Burnham Project on YouTube. A bunch of different playlists there, all the stuff that we're into. And we're adding more to it. So if there's something you would like to see us try, you've kind of got a gist of what it is that we're doing just based on this 23-minute episode now and other Burnham podcast episodes you might have listened to. You got an idea, throw it out there. We might not do it, but we might. We have these powwow sessions, I don't know, at least weekly, where we're trying to figure out what we ought to do next and how we ought to tweak what we are already doing to try to make it cooler for you guys and get more folks involved and more eyes on the project. So as it is, Tango, thanks for another one.
Absolutely.
God bless you guys. We love you. See you next time.